Good morning, and welcome to a very special episode 91. For those watching, we are in different positions. For those listening, we are
see
in
my
different
other side. Hello.
Hello,
This
the
is my
better side.
other side.
Before we introduce our wonderful, lovely guest, Adam,
It's a round of applause.
a round of applause for your triathlon. How was it, my friend?
It was a 4 a.m. wake up.
Oh
is
my
how it
goodness me.
was. Yeah, that wasn't much fun. No, but it was great. Started 6:30 a.m. swimming in Windermere.
Nice and warm, was it?
Do you know what? For
lovely.
open water swimming, it was actually
Yeah.
a really good temperature, and it was calm. We'd had lots of rain and stuff when we arrived, and wind.
Yes.
And it was
That's why it's called Windermere.
yeah, exactly, Windermere.
Yeah, Windermere.
But it was calm on the day, so it was sort of just having not done triathlon for a while, like years.
Yeah.
Settled into the swim.
Did you get
found a rhythm.
cramp? Because you said you would get
I
cramp.
did.
swimming. Yeah.
Told you I would. I did. So,
You
yeah,
nailed that
battling
one.
around, but so eased into it and then started picking my way through.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really racing, sort of thing. Like, I'm just trying to survive. However, I got out of the water and Zach was like, "You're 50th out of the water." He'd been counting as I'd come
Wow.
out.
How
So,
many?
yeah,
Can I ask how many in total then?
I think it's like
51.
140. yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think there's like 140-ish.
That's
sort
pretty
of thing.
good, my friend.
So and then I just got overtaken gradually for the rest of the thing. But the bike ride was awesome, riding around a Lake District. But the problem with the Lake District is all the hills. So it was
I was
just
gonna say,
yeah,
Very hilly.
sapped the legs, absolutely destroyed the legs. And then the run, it was just cling on. But I was like, keep running, don't walk, keep running, and I did it. So
Well
under
done,
4
my
hours, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I'm like, I'll have to find another one.
And Zach at the end of it was like, "Dad, you're 139 out of 140."
Yeah, basically. That's what the kids are like, though, aren't they? So, yeah, it was awesome. And just a big thank you to everyone that sponsored me, obviously, yourself.
Thank you.
And obviously, it was raising money for Team Luke. So, just a big thank you to everyone that got behind it. Really appreciate it. And it's nice just to raise a bit of money on the side.
Absolutely, mate. But well done.
So, there we go.
Yeah.
And how's your week been? Obviously,
I went to Hertfordshire.
I've done a triathlon. I'll just go to Hertfordshire.
Yeah, that was like a last minute kind of, we've got, but put it this way, it was an announcement with, it was an event with Wobbly Hobbly Nick, as you called him
Wobbly Hobbly
previously.
Nick.
Yeah, so Nick from Mode Shift.
Lovely chap.
And he was like, how do you feel about going to Hertfordshire?
When? Tomorrow.
Well, it was kind of like possibly next week, but it's subject, we had dignitaries, which I can't talk about.
No, okay.
One of them I was very excited to meet. But
Good.
so I will be able to talk about that in due course, but at the moment we can't. So we were doing a thing and it was like a frenzy of videography. So there was me doing photos and videos for ModeShift for their promotional materials as well as covering the event. They had another 2 videographers from one organisation who were the most lovely guys. And then there was another videographer from another organisation. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it, when you can't
Yeah,
say?
you can say.
So, and we're all trying to like crowd in and get
Yeah.
all the shot. It just makes it really, it was a bit of a media, we were making a media scrum ourselves,
Yeah.
but it was a lovely event. And then drove back yesterday evening. So for that finished, I was in that sun, which is absolutely lovely. I'm not going to whinge about it. I was in that sun from 10 till 4. Sun cream lathered all over. I didn't have a cap with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was melting by the end. But I'm not sunburnt, look.
No.
I don't think
Yeah,
I'm
you
not.
see?
Yeah. Use your sun cream, people.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Good stuff.
that's been the week, and then I was also shooting media over in Middlesbrough at a Hullabaloo installation. I love those,
Lovely
going to that. So
Hullabaloo.
children's centre. I was over there, and then I was somewhere else, and I can't remember. Basically,
So it's been a
blur.
bit
it's been a blur.
Yeah,
Been a blur.
exactly. Well, we've been very busy as well, but I do want to get on. Welcome back, the lovely Liz from TigerDove.
Great to be
Repeat.
here. Thank you very much for asking me back.
Not a problem. How's your week been? Because you've been away.
Yeah.
Guess where?
Barbados. She's mentioned. Liz and
a
I
few
work
times.
right. So the context of this, Liz and I have been partnership working on stuff, and we'll go into that.
Yeah.
But she has not failed to remind me the countdown for Barbados.
Did I mention
before.
it a few times?
Just
I thought I
once
hadn't
or
told you.
Every moment.
Yeah.
Oh, the
So,
team's called Barbados. It's like that. There's no context there. You're just saying.
yeah. So this week I've been mainly getting back to reality.
Absolutely. Back to work and back to reality.
Which has been great.
Yeah.
Getting back in touch with clients and been great.
Been good.
Just sort of catching up on projects and Yeah, that's what I've been doing this week, and ready to hit the ground
Before
running.
that, it was Barbados.
Yeah, before that, Barbados. Yeah,
Which
exactly.
looked absolutely
It did.
wonderful.
Yeah,
I must
thank you.
admit.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
I could talk about it for half an hour, but I won't.
But you won't.
No,
Exactly.
no. But I'm getting back into this project again this
Yeah, yeah.
afternoon.
And that
Exactly.
is the whole reason. I had a great idea a couple of weeks back, and I reached out to yourself, Liz,
did.
and I mentioned it to Adam. So I thought the idea of this podcast is really, we always talk about trusted partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a trusted partner in Adam, and obviously you've got a trusted partner in me because
Yeah.
we do your IT.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you are two competing companies. You both do marketing. You
Yeah.
both do that. Why on earth working together? And I went, what a great topic for the podcast, because you do work together. There's no overlap. There's no animosity. And it's an absolute cracking project
Only when she talks about Barbados.
when she talks about Barbados. So what I wanted to ask it is, who made the first sort of like introduction? Who made the first call? Who
You.
reached out?
You,
Did I do that?
You introduced us.
quite a while ago.
It was quite a while ago,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
It was. I remember that.
I think it was just as I was starting out back in, it's nearly 3 years, you know.
You've not been going 3 years.
Yeah, because I know that because I got my reminder for my insurance, and I think it's 3 years now. Anyway, so about 3 years ago,
Right.
you mentioned Adam, who was here, and
Yeah.
you were partners with him and all this, and you suggested that we had a chat.
I did. I completely
Yeah,
slipped
And
my
I
mind.
came down, didn't I?
You did. Andy, I think you were in the building, and Andy
Yeah.
often brings
I was
someone
in the
by
building,
and goes,
yeah.
Andy often appears at the door. Have you met this person? Like, no, this is in this case Liz. So I think that was our first sort of brief encounter.
Right.
And then I saw you a week later at like a networking event, and we were
Yes.
talking. It was like the business club or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was, yes.
Yeah.
And I actually had a chance to sort of get to know a bit more about you.
And we've sort of talked about maybe working together.
It's just finding the right things.
It
and I think
is.
we'll come on to that. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's because you're right. It's elephant in the room. I've had people go, why have you got a marketing person on your podcast?
Podcast,
And
yeah.
I'm like, but it's not like that. It's
No.
it's different. Liz works in some very different circles to what we work in, for example. The needs are different. The requirements are different.
Right.
And we go in for other reasons to like Liz. So we could go in because, like yesterday, we need some videography and photography. So I think the problem is people see marketing in general as a one thing.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's like too many things, really.
It is. It's so many skill sets.
Yeah.
Across the board, people say marketing and communications, and that makes that those
Yes.
skills even more wider.
And then PR,
and,
which is a separate kettle of
It
fish.
is, yeah. So when people say marketing, it could mean people view it in very different ways as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But I remember now that you've mentioned it, that you were looking to set your own, well, you just set your own
I had,
company
yeah.
up. You literally just said.
TigerDove.
Yeah, TigerDove Marketing.
TigerDove.
And I just thought, well, why not? Adam, I've known Adam for a while, and I thought, what a great idea. You can bounce ideas off you. Because I knew there wouldn't be any, I'm not talking to him, it's another marketing person. So I think it was a real good introduction. So you said you decided or thought that you were looking to work together.
Well, I thought we could do it. It's like you were saying, it was just about waiting for the right project or the right opportunity to come along.
Yeah, it's not that it's like we're not going to do it. It's more like just quite often you're like, I'd really like that idea.
Yeah.
However, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, how do you find the right project? And the whole point of this speaking it's making sure you've got enough money in the project to pay everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard getting work as it is, as people know.
And it's also the skills that are needed and the experience and knowledge that's needed because, over the many years, I've been in marketing, I've built up certain skills and knowledge,
course.
experience, and so has Adam, and in different areas than
yeah,
me.
exactly.
So you asked about the project. Well, the one that we're actually working on together at the moment, I'd actually worked with them before on a previous project,
Right.
looking at their whole strategy. And an opportunity came along with the project about looking at developing a website.
Yep.
And a bit more,
Yeah.
other things. But I thought, this might be an opportunity.
Yeah, it's like, and that was where Liz picks up the phone and goes, "Do you want to do it? Do you
Wanna collaborate?"
Throw your hat in the ring."
Yeah.
Obviously, And just to make sure, people, it wasn't nailed on. I had to pitch. I had to bid with everyone else.
I contacted a number of people.
Well, you had to, didn't you? Because from your point of view,
you've got to be transparent.
You've got to be transparent. You can't say, I'm bringing it Adam because I work with him.
And also, I mean, I work with a number of other people as well.
Right.
On different things. I'm a big believer in collaboration.
Yes, I know that from day one.
I think it makes you stronger.
Yep.
I think you learn off of people.
Absolutely.
You know, people come with different points of view. It's a bit like when I used to work internally. I've gone to the dark side now, as people keep telling me. But anyway, it's just it's a joke. It's a joke. So I learned that very early on in my career, the importance of ensuring you have people around you and people within your team with different experience, different skills, so you can learn from them and grow with them.
Absolutely.
Because it's really important.
Yeah.
Really
so,
important.
Adam, can I ask, when Liz obviously first contacted you, about this project, so it's like, oh, hi, Liz, how are you doing? And she pitched the idea. And again, for everybody out there, did you immediately think, whoa, what's happening? Or was it, no, right, come on, let's go?
They're genuinely, very appreciative. I mean, so some of the stuff that we already do, because there's all the camera element, we often get brought in just to do the camera element. And we've done the odd bit for other marketing companies where they don't do the camera element, and they've gone, hey, well, you've got the marketing, but this was a different project. Yeah. And the whole thing was, when Liz was talking to me, she's like, well, I'm going to be working on this project as well. Mm-hmm. It's looking at the, in this case, the website, sort of the drawing good pictures side, creating the logos. Yeah. But Liz is doing all the stuff with the words and tone of voice and vision and values and working with the organisation to do that. So I could see where we fit, where the project is, because sometimes it's hard to see where one side ends and one side picks up. And
I can appreciate that,
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I'd met Liz. Now, imagine, I've always talked about networking. Imagine I met Liz day one at a networking event, and Liz's approach was to try and hand me a business card before she's told me who she is or what she is, or try and sell me, or just give me work. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, to be fair, Liz would have just come up and gone, do you know I'm going to Barbados?
Yeah, well, And I'm like, let's work together. I'd love to be reminded of that. The thing is, it was the whole premise of it all was getting to know each other and just being aware of what each other do, and that's been a couple of years. We were the same.
Yeah, exactly right.
Sat there for a couple of years. So when Liz came to me, I went, please send me a brief so I can see what that looks like. Mm-hmm. Liz was like, I'm going to be working on X, Y, and Z, and I'm looking for someone to work on A, B, C.
Excuse me. And I think that was probably, from your point of view, Liz, that was it was very easy to do, to draw those lines, to go, I want you to work on this. Because not only does that help both of you in terms of that, it's not that you ever want you're stepping on my toes. It just gives you both clear direction, doesn't it? Yeah,
that's very important. And like with every project, when I first started talking to Adam, obviously we did that, we split that up, but we all knew that projects sort of take different directions. Yeah. So, this is what we spoke about as well, and the fact that, we've all been in projects where, you've got a clear vision, you know where you want to get to, but sometimes the road to take...
It's a bit windy and twisty.
It's a bit windy and twisty. Yeah. So we were very open to that happening as well, the fact, that the requirements of the project may change as we move forward, but that first proposal was very clear about the different... areas that I would be involved in or leading, and Adam.
I think the other bit, because we've done a couple of projects together, a couple of different things, and one of which is, and I know this from, it's important that I know that Liz needs to be able to trust working in the right interests. Yes. So, yes, trust me, but working in the right interests. So, one of the jobs we were doing together, the client then got in touch with me separately. Liz wasn't copied in. Good. Could you do this extra thing that you do? Yeah. So the first thing I do is pick up the phone to Liz. Absolutely. By the way, they've asked me if I can do this. Just because it's about transparency and clarity, and it works both ways, sort of thing. So for me, it was really important, because I really respect Liz going, right, I'm bringing you in. Because, Liz is putting her reputation on the line with my reputation, if that makes sense.
And vice versa.
Yeah, true. But
and vice versa.
Yeah. But it's easy when you're looking at it yourself, though, isn't it? You always look at yourself. As
of course you do. Yeah,
you don't want to let people down. So I think the other thing is it's having like that opportunity there. It allowed me to also show to Liz that I work with the right intentions and honesty and integrity. So I'm going, hey, do you know they've said this? Nope. I was like, I know you don't. That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that all right? What are your feelings about it? I don't want to step on toes and do that. And I think it's really important that people understand that. That's really really important. I've done it with you. Someone's asking about X.
Absolutely. But I think you've hit the nail on the head there in terms about also trusting and respecting each other. And I think it's key. And if we go back to if we go back to when I first introduced you, I could see elements of you, Liz, matching elements of Adam, because you're both very open, you're both trustworthy. So that's why I made that introduction. And I'm really pleased it's come to working on multiple projects.
We have a triangle of trust at the table.
Ah, triangle of trust. Well, if
marketing people ruin everything.
Sorry.
Marketing people, we're doing a hand signal there. A triangle of trust. We have a hand sign.
No.
Marketers ruin
logo.
everything.
New logo, the triangle of trust. Very good.
We ruin everything.
No, we ruin everything completely. So this particular project, can I ask, is that the one linked where you
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I haven't announced it publicly.
Yeah, I said website project, but it's much more than that.
Yeah, obviously.
It was, as Adam said, it was going right back to the beginning and looking at their brand as a whole. The website itself that they've got is quite antiquated.
Two websites.
Well, actually, it is.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
two separate websites.
Two different logos.
Yeah, it was all, and they knew this. This is what came out in the project I'd done previous with them, the fact that they needed to sort of bring everything together into focus. And that's when, the next step came in, the tactical side of things started to come in. And the first thing was to look at that brand piece from logo, which everybody associates being brand, all the way through to, as Adam said, tone of voice, vision, values, core value.
Which is, I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
Is equally, everyone looks at the shiny coloured.
Of course they do.
Stamp
because that's the first thing that they see.
The bit that Liz is working on with tone of voice and clarity and everything, that's just it's probably more important because if you don't get that right, the logo can actually just stand for something bad.
I remember when this first came on the podcast about branding, and you were saying that, and obviously from a resilient point of view, from us, it's the T-shirts, it's the respect I give my clients, it's the attitude, it's that work ethic that I've got. That is still what you were saying. It covers everything. It's not just there's a resilient logo.
No.
Actually, for those on brand, here we go. Here's a good example. So for those thinking of brand and what it is, and now we're just talking a bit waffly, because I get it. I do get it how it sounds. But the example is you can have the best logo in the world and you stick it on your van.
Yeah.
But if you don't clean your van.
Correct.
And it's falling apart.
And you drive like a maniac.
And you said, world's best builder.
Yeah.
Are you really showing that you're...
No.
Do you see what I'm getting?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Totally.
So the brand element, the vision, the values and all that, it's kind of like, I find it really important to keep my van clean. For example, we've got a van, keep it clean.
Clean it every Friday or Saturday or whatever you do.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
week.
Although there's a hose pipe on, so I can't now. But that comes in today. So I could clean it with a bucket. Sorry, I've digressed. The whole point is it's like a brand is like a bit of an attitude, I suppose, an approach, and that's what Liz is very good at looking at and focusing on.
And going back to meaning as well. I mean, like you were saying, you could come up with the most beautiful, fantastic logo, but actually, if it doesn't stand for anything or blend in with everything or support everything else, so who we're working with at the moment, it's all about collaboration and working together and supporting and things like that, and being accessible, and so all these sorts of words is. And
then I can safely say one colour is, if you're watching, the colour of my cup, blue, and the other colour is the colour of my lead on the microphone, which is bright red.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've very rarely seen those two colours come together. So I was like, how can I bring, because we're bringing it into one, how can I bring that together?
Yeah.
And also, how do we have some meaning with it?
Yeah.
Rather than,
and quite rightly, both did not want to move away from those colours, because those colours have been in place since the 1960s and they were very strong. It's the education sector that we're working in. it's very strong in that sector and beyond.
Right. Okay.
Internationally, we're talking
Right.
here. So it was a decision made very early on that they did not want to move away from the colours. I mean, obviously, they wanted to widen their colour palette, which is another discussion.
Yeah.
But the two main primary brand colours, they wanted that to stay
Mossy
the same.
charcoal.
Mossy charcoal,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I came up with a colour.
Mossy charcoal.
And I was like, what do I call it? So I actually asked ChatGPT. I said, how do I describe it? It was like it wasn't grey. It was like a charcoaly green.
Greeny grey, blacky.
Yeah. I was like, that fits with it and it makes sense. So I was like, right, okay.
It just reminds me, every time you say it, just reminds me of Mossy Bottom Farm. Short the sheep.
Yeah. Again, we ruin everything as marketers. Mossy, I was like, well, how do I describe this colour? I need to write it down, like what this colour is. Obviously, I've got the hex code, but that a load of numbers doesn't it? So I was like, mossy charcoal.
Well, there we go. So this particular brand, this particular company, obviously you were saying from 1960s.
Yeah.
They're two separate entities as
Yes.
far as but one company.
Yeah.
A bit of an odd question. How did they go so long as different entities before realising that they needed to bring everything back together?
Well, they've always been together,
Right.
but they've never.
It's never been branded in a way
together.
that was together.
Right, okay.
Because the main organisation was founded first,
Yeah.
and then the red organisation came a year after.
Right.
And the blue organisation supports the red organisation.
Got you.
I'm making myself clear.
No, I get it.
And the reason why it was red was it stands out.
Yeah, stands out
In many ways.
in that sector
But
that
it's
they're
one,
in.
com-
it's one
competitors,
company
it
though,
stands
isn't it? Or is it two separate?
The blue one manages the red one.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the
Yeah.
easiest way of saying it.
And the blue one is actually a charity.
Okay, so all of that work to try and bring all that branding together. Now, you said you've worked with them in the past.
Yes.
Yes. Has that branding, we must bring it together, always been there and just never actually been an opportunity?
Yes. Like with many organisations, I call it cyclical. They think, we need this re-looking at.
Yes.
We need somebody to come in and give us an independent opinion. Need to go through some market research, look at all this, and they have the strategy and then the tactical plan of what they need to actually do to make the strategy come to life.
Right.
And then it stops.
And then 6 months later.
To those that don't work in marketing, that's like writing up your risk assessments and then sticking them on a shelf.
Yeah, and leaving it.
And not
Yeah.
doing anything with it.
And then about 3 years later, it's, I wonder whatever happened to that. And then they go out again, and it's all that cyclical.
Yeah.
And it happens all over in every
does.
sector,
Yeah.
every country of the world, it happens.
Yeah.
Either it's budget worries, or they haven't got the appetite to do it, or, we've done that now.
Yes.
We can leave that.
Yes.
And then they wonder why 2 years later they still haven't, gone into a certain sector, or their product's not selling, or the
Yes.
service isn't selling as well as they thought it would be, etc., etc. So anyway, that's what happens a lot. But this time, the small team that I'm working with are very, very keen
Right.
for it to move on. I think even at the highest level of both organisations have got this appetite because they realise they need to move forward.
Yeah.
They realise through our consultation. Yeah, that's a good one. Because we've met with them a couple of times and gone through various things with them, and I've met them previously in
Yes.
the previous project. And interviewed them separately and together about different things. But there is a definite appetite that they realise that they need to move forward to survive is not the wrong, but to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to a certain point and they need to grow.
So much so, the first meeting, I actually ended up flipping the project on its head with one question, which you were aware of. I came in as a fresh, and this is what I mean. The other week I was doing a podcast and I had to ask a question that I was like, I don't want to trip the guest up, but I know that everyone listening
Will want me to
ask it. And it was a sustainability thing.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how people had done trips. And I'm like, those trips will have been on planes. We're talking about sustainability. So I need to ask the question, what have you done to do that? It turns out they'd gone, we've carbon offset it. So if I didn't ask the tough question,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would never have got to that really interesting point and answer, which is, well, you just illustrated that they really are committed to, you know.
Well, absolutely.
So that was that. But in the meeting, I was like, oh, it sounds like it needs to be like, say if it was one leading two. I was like, it sounds like two needs to lead one.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they went, yeah. And you were like, if we look at our documentation, the branding, that's pretty much what I've said here.
Yeah.
And I've come in as a fresh pair of eyes and pretty much said, do what Liz says.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And that wasn't
I didn't know what Liz had said.
Right, okay.
I just had the brief based on
Right.
the project. And then when I'm like sat there and actually in the room and talking, I then basically went,
Well, that should be doing
you should do this. And Liz is like, that's what I've said.
Because although the blue company was before the red company, everybody knows the red company's name rather than the blue company.
Question, can the red company survive without the blue company and vice versa?
No.
Probably
Right.
not. They need
Probably
each
not.
other.
They need each
They
other.
need each other.
And justifiably, they need their own brands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they are known for different reasons for different things. So one side is like a publication.
Yeah.
The other side is like industry stuff with people.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So one deals with people, one deals with documentation and brand
Yeah.
publications.
So they need to be seen as one.
Because people go to the red one when they want this, and
And they've got the
then
blue one.
blue one.
Yeah.
when they want
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
So that's
Well, I've been very fortunate to see what
Okay.
you've been working on. I know we're not allowed to mention it, but I believe...
Not yet.
Not yet, exactly.
yet.
But I believe what you've come up with jointly, it really does bring the two companies together, but at the same time, independently, they still stand on their own.
Yeah.
Somebody could look at the new marketing and go, aha, that's the red company. Another person goes, aha, it's the blue company, but it's now one brand.
Yeah.
So I think you've done a fantastic job of that. But as I also understand it, there was lots of iterations. It went on and on and on.
We're probably 2 months behind.
Yeah.
We are. Which
And behind sounds wrong because we've been doing the work.
Oh, 100%.
It's the
it's
iteration.
just taken a lot longer, like a lot of projects do. Once you start getting under that bonnet
Yes.
and asking the difficult questions.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody has differences of opinion, which, it's great to have, especially if you have like the leadership team that we've been working with is quite open and they're quite honest.
Yeah.
And they're happy to sit in a virtual meeting together because they're in all
Yeah,
different
of course.
time zones across
Yes.
the world. What time was it?
11,
about?
9 o'clock.
9, 10 o'clock at night. We met
10 o'clock, you
with
said
them a
last
couple
time.
of times just to make sure we hit everybody so they're actually in awake times. And so it's quite refreshing sometimes that they seem to have a trust in one another where they can just quite openly say what they feel about something or what they think about something. Because I myself, and I don't know if you have, and I'm presuming you have, because sometimes you try and have these conversations with a leadership team or a management team and they haven't got that flow. I don't know what it is.
It's a couple of things. One is I'm very keen on like asking that difficult question.
Yeah.
I can get an answer there and then.
Yeah.
Rather than if I avoid it because face to face it might feel a bit uncomfortable to ask it. But if you just say at the risk of sounding maybe silly or
Yeah.
at the risk of asking a silly question, please can I I'm going to ask this. That I'm glad I did that in the room because that question was a really tough question, which would be really hard to answer on email. So I'm always aware that when you've got physical meetings or online meetings, we're always focused on the actions that we can go away. Because Liz and I go away, scurry around, do a lot of work, and then come back and go, what do you think of this? Mark my homework type thing.
Yes.
Yeah? Please mark my homework. What do you think? And they'll go, hate it, like it.
5 out of 10,
do a
see
little
me.
bit. Yeah, exactly.
See me, yeah.
6 out of 10 must try harder. Like, and you've got to have a thick skin in
Yeah.
that regard, especially when the stuff that we're doing, we're going, hey, here's your organisation in a way that you've never seen it before, in a way you've never necessarily talked about it, in a way that we're going to lay it out, and in a way that we're going to do. And the response throughout the process has been really positive.
It has.
People have then gone, what about this? What about how this works? What about this application? What about,
We've had some, I really don't like that.
I really don't like that.
We have.
Fine, but that's honest.
But then you're
It's
like,
part of the process.
It is.
It's part of the process.
but then you have somewhere that like, I really don't like that, but the other 19 people might.
Yes.
So then you're like, what's nice in that scenario is, well, luckily, we're not the decision makers
Correct.
here. You're the decision
Yeah.
makers.
Over to you.
You tell us what you want to do.
But we're not just talking about the logos in this case. We're also talking about the mission, vision, brand promise, core values. Again, that's gone through that feedback process as well. So it's not just looking at a logo.
No,
what I'm trying to say,
100%.
it's also taking into consideration the whole brand, not just that colour palette, mossy bottom grey.
Whatever it is.
Mossy green.
Sorry.
Mossy charcoal.
Mossy charcoal. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Mossy bottom grey. You've just destroyed the brand.
Sorry. Oh.
You've ruined it.
Ruined it now?
Mossy
Sorry.
bottom, I'm going to change that.
I was going to change that.
No, don't. It's just my brain.
Sorry, that's you getting me back because someone said about logo in Comic Sans, so I actually made one.
You did. I saw that.
Put it,
hilarious.
put it at the end of the presentation, went this, and then wrote, "This is a joke."
So the whole brand piece has gone through that process, and we're now at a point now where we can start working with it, which is really exciting.
So here's the point, right? And this is where people go, "Can I have a logo?" Having a logo is one thing, but if you actually want a brand where you and people start, as soon as you say brand, I find that they can switch off. They can start to think it's a bit fluffy, and it doesn't really make much sense.
Sorry, what did you say? I switched off.
Yeah,
I wasn't
exactly.
listening to what you were saying.
But we have been doing iteration after iteration, consultation, back and forth, going away and doing work and coming back.
Yeah.
And it's like people don't often, when I've had it in the past, people are going, "How much for a logo?" I'm like, no, you're forgetting all of the meetings that we have to have.
Absolutely.
You're forgetting all of the changes we need to make. You're
That's all chargeable.
You're forgetting that I'm finding 15 different fonts from you to choose from, loads of different colour palettes. I gave monochromatic triad colours, which is not a gang. It's how it goes on the colour wheel, and all this sort of stuff. Going here's the different ways we can sort of utilise the colours and make them fit, and really looking at it. And it's so much more than just a stamp. If you want just a logo, because people go, I can go on to Fiverr,
Absolutely.
or I can go on to Vista or whatever. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
You're welcome to. But we've spent a lot of time doing this to get it right, because it's got to then translate. And equally, if Liz is writing really corporate text, and I'm like, here's a little smiley clown face.
It doesn't.
not
It
work.
doesn't marry up.
No, it really doesn't.
So it's like, I also need, for this design, it is corporate speak. I've made sure we've got some really straight angles and lines and like really crisp edge type stuff going on. And with the colours, it's really vibrant. And that actually really lends itself quite nicely to doing it. But so when people are looking at logos, they're kind of like, what? Or branding, they go, what are we actually paying you for? And it's like, we've been working on this since
I know.
February.
It's,
February.
For the record, I have a fully built, wireframed out website in the background ready.
Yeah.
We've done the brand, we've got it signed off. I've created all the graphics, we've created the brand guidelines. You've sorted out the tone of voice, documentation. We're now at the thing. We've got a meeting later. It's populating the website. It's getting it on. But
So I've been busy this week, starting to look at the content,
yeah,
rewriting some sections that they want to keep, but obviously we need to translate that into the new look, feel, and then there are some other areas that need completely recreating.
So my work at the moment, I'll be honest, I'm in a bit of a holding pattern right now, because what I want to do is I want to have a clean run of it when I've got a good body of content, so I can, because I know that the moment I put, let's say if I have 3 pages that I can put the content in. So I put that content in, and as I'm sat there, I'm going, all right, yeah, that's fine. But then I get another 9 pages, and then I go in and do that, and I go, right, this layout actually needs to change.
Yes.
I've then got to change it across 6
Absolutely.
other. Do you see what I mean? So I want to take a run at it when I've got almost like a bucket of stuff to go at.
Because it fits. Every website page has to fit.
Yeah.
You can't have one that looks like this and then
Before you know it, I'm
doesn't
making
look like that.
Yeah.
One change could mean 20 amends if you do it wrong.
Yeah, and interestingly, on this project, the 2 people we're working most closely with,
Who are fantastic.
yeah, they are. One is very visual, and the other is very wordy. So actually, when we're having so what I'm meaning by that is that there's one of them likes to see something as it's finished, as it's designed, whereas the other one likes to see the words in a Word document.
Yes.
And works that way, which actually is quite good for the project, because you're getting 2 completely different points of view all the time.
So we've essentially got a completely working website in development with complete random Latin lorem
we
ipsum
have.
Yes,
text.
of course,
The
yeah.
entire the website
Yeah.
is in effect like all the pages. I built all the pages
Yeah.
and done all that. I'm just waiting to
And they've
lock things
and
down.
the person that's visual has sent you through loads of imagery
Yep.
and
I've expanded on
Yeah,
that and
yeah.
style guided it and kind of gone from there. So we're kind of at word stage.
we're actually at the point of the merging of the two sites as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which the meeting is about this
Yeah.
afternoon.
So we've got, let's say there's 2 websites with 2 about pages.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you do there then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because one company, the blue company, is completely,
Yeah, we need to
talking about
we need
the
to tell
red
that story.
company. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's like, how do we itemize that? How do we? And we've got a structure in place
Yeah, we do.
based on that, so we can see it visually
Visually, yeah.
and how it works. And it's like, so where's this bit going to go? And I can go, it's going to go here.
Yes.
Mm.
And then I go, is that correct?
Yeah.
Because it's all well and good me thinking.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So when you first were given this opportunity, Liz, obviously, as you quite rightly said, and there's no animosity here at all, you went out to a number of different
did.
people. Adam was one of them.
One of them, yeah.
Obviously, he was lucky enough to win the bid. But are you effectively this company is dealing with you?
No.
This is a good one, actually.
Yeah, this is what I
it's
want-
interesting,
yeah.
isn't it?
This is exactly why I asked the question.
No, so I like the way it works because I can. Right. So here's the problem. You're working with Liz.
Yeah.
But you don't see me working in the background.
Correct.
Okay. You go. I've done something technical in the website. Liz has got website background and understands websites.
Of course she does,
There
yeah.
might be something very specific that I've done. Even if it's just a small change, you tell Liz. Liz then goes and tells me. Not to Chinese
Exactly.
whisper.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Is that
yeah,
still what-
passing the message on.
Passing
type,
the- yeah, like you
Third
can
part,
lose-
yeah.
Easily
You
lose
can
the
lose the
vibrance
message,
of what
yeah.
I'm trying to
It's a
say.
bit like that non-verbal communication piece,
is,
isn't
isn't
it?
it?
It's a bit like receiving a text message or an email and you're missing out on everything else. You know how many times people get annoyed at text messages and email. Actually, it's just the wrong tone and you haven't
Well,
seen the
absolutely.
person.
But there's also, harking back to what you were saying, Adam, when you're in the meeting, you can ask
Yes,
more
more
difficult
questions, yeah.
And you can, I wouldn't say sense, but I get the same thing. So, for example, and I'm joking, you could listen to Liz saying, I've just come back from Barbados. You can do nothing but roll your eyes.
That's exactly what I think. Actually, I turned my camera off and muted the microphone in that meeting with the client. They found it funny too.
Yeah,
I think
that's what
they
I'm
were
saying.
tempted.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That you could just roll your eyes and you get that sense.
Yeah.
And you're right. So to pick up on that point, you work independently with this company, but both yourselves work together. But you are again clear lines of definition.
Yeah.
So does this company speak to you about the wording and doesn't involve Adam because he doesn't need to be involved?
No.
Right.
Whenever we meet, it's always us.
Right.
In the fact that, going back to collaborative working,
Correct.
although we've got clear defined areas, Adam may hear something from the client that I've not quite taken on
Yeah.
board and vice versa.
We've often done
Yeah.
the meeting after the meeting.
We've done the
Always,
debrief.
always.
We do a pre,
Yeah.
then the
Pre and a D.
meeting, and then a debrief.
Debrief. What did you get from
Yeah.
that?
I'm
Yeah.
often asking Liz, going,
Yeah.
did I hear this
That
correctly?
right.
Correct.
Because this
Yeah.
is how I interpret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so valuable.
Great.
It is.
It's really valuable. But yeah, we front up together.
Mm-hmm.
We do the project work, and then if they've got a website, it's kick it. I mean, Liz sorts out all the sort of agendas, keeps us on point in the meetings to keep them to time.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of
There's a
ground
lot.
to cover.
Yeah.
So Liz will go, right, Adam, over to you. And I've known what I've got to do. I'm like after this today, we don't need a pre-meeting because I'm with you. I'll be saying, here's what. These are, in fact, at the moment, I'm at the point of these are the deliverables that I need
Yes.
so I can go
Yeah.
and do
Continue.
my work.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
actually, I've delivered
done.
my side now. I'm waiting now for the next set of instructions or the next bucket of stuff that I can then throw at the website. I love that idea. So yeah, it's always been a case of fronting up and dealing with it. But the example I used on another project where the client comes to me directly, hey, could you just design up something? I was like, before I even replied,
Yeah.
hi Liz, this is
They've asked me to do this.
They've asked me to do this. Are you all right
Yeah.
with it? Like, do you, like, because
And that's important as well, though, because that builds that trust, that relationship, that collaborative.
well, equally, I
working.
don't know, like, because Liz has worked with this organisation for a number of years.
Happier.
I don't know the work that's gone before. I don't know what
Correct.
you were doing, and equally, I'm like, I don't want to be stealing, but work coming over to me, like, you know, it's.
But on the flip side of that, I'm really happy if the client came back to you and said, because I've worked with you on this, do you mind doing this? I'm happy for that to happen. I mean, obviously, you'd tell me, like you say, but
Absolutely you would.
You know, I'm just. I like everybody to succeed and
Yes.
grow
No, absolutely.
and get new connections and new networks and, you know, and I'm all for that. I mean, my sort of background, as I say, has been heavily in academia, the care sector, logistics as well. I've worked in finance, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy if a collaborative project, first of all, succeeds, but then if other work comes after, either to myself or to Adam, fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely fantastic.
Well, again, this is one of the things that I wanted to do from this podcast is to, you know, for example, I was at a conference, a networking event where we were part of Resilient. We were advertising, you know, Ray, we are resilient. And at this particular event, we were opposite another IT company. We had a lot more interaction, and I could tell. Purely for the fact that as people were walking by, I was not doing, God bless, what this other company was doing. It was like, hello, how are you? What, you know, well, we are business card type thing. I was just going, hello, how are you finding your day? Yeah. Anything we can do to help you? Because obviously we're
Want to stick on the VR headset?
Want to stick on the VR headset. But it was a total different interaction. The fact that I was just going, hi, how's your day going? You enjoying yourself so far? Are you just here first or are you out around? That lovely little comment, just like, yeah, I'm doing fine, actually, thanks. So what do you do then? Bingo, got them. And you could almost sense this other company just going, huh?
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you do then? You've then been given permission
Correct.
to tell them.
Correct, yeah.
And this is what you see on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. I ranted about it the
You
other
did,
week.
didn't you?
Like, connect on LinkedIn.
The first thing they do is try and sell you something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, right.
Are you in marketing? Well, you obviously haven't read my profile.
You haven't read
Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying, do you
Absolutely.
work in audio?
Yeah.
I'm like, podcast. There's like my literally
Did you do the
the
eyeball
last
again?
3 posts were clips from the podcast. I'm like, you haven't,
No.
you know, so it's like you need to get out there and salespeople tell you don't need permission to pitch sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, but if you get permission to pitch, that is so much more powerful.
Yeah.
So
but
what do you do then is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
Whether it then that's then become top of the funnel, as
Of course
people
it
are saying. Sales. You've suddenly got someone has just took a little step into your sales funnel.
Yeah.
And they may disconnect and drift off.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But that's it.
But if you've had that human interaction, if you've had those pleasantries and you've, you know, and I mean, my mantra throughout my working life has always been be nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Be respectful, be nice. And I think it's. I hope it has. I mean,
100%
I mean, the
Liz, it really has.
amount of people that I meet go, "Oh, hi, Liz," whatever, you know. And
How was Barbados?
Shall I tell you where I'm going next?
No,
I haven't booked it. I haven't booked it.
Fight. Go, give it back.
Go on, now we're in competition.
I'm actually going to the Lake District next.
Are you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. He was at the weekend, wasn't he?
I know.
Very wet.
No, I'm going the other side, Ravenglass on the coast.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's my 25th wedding anniversary, by the way.
Full of celebrations.
Anyway, what was I saying?
She needs me to do all the work she's not doing on holiday.
You know,
It's
be
been
open,
nice.
be friendly, be transparent, and just, you know, if you're nice to somebody and like you're saying, you know, if you don't hear from them for ages, and all of a sudden you see them at a networking event or they pop up in a webinar or whatever. It's just like you feel like you've got a bit of an open door
Well,
to
of
go,
course.
oh, hi, how are you doing?
But it's-
Whereas if it's like you say, straight away jump on going, what can I sell you?
Absolutely. That's
Then it's
Well, the problem
completely
is,
different.
Everybody
no,
buy
don't
Teams.
buy it. You need an Andy. That's what you need.
I use Teams.
Yes, you do.
What I'd say though is, if someone's come to you and like done that harsh pitch, and you see them again, you're like, oh, no, I don't.
You try to avoid them, don't you?
Yeah, well, there's a few people on my list that
Yeah.
my list in my head, and I'm not nasty. I'm just like, I don't have time. What happens? I sometimes get collared in the building.
Yeah.
Don't cut this into a reel, please. I sometimes get collared into a building, and running in with a bag of kit on, running out to a job.
Yeah.
And some.
Adam, have you got a minute? I'm like, so the question should be, Adam, have you got a minute so I can pitch you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have a minute, so you can. I don't want to be. I want to get in my car with my camera gear and get to the job
that you are at. No,
because
absolutely.
I have been railroaded with a phone call. I'm juggling my day, and I'm not interested.
No.
Like I know, it's great, and it frustrates me because then I'm like, how can I get in and to the stairs as quick as possible
Without anybody going.
I don't have. I just don't. I get it. I know what you do. You don't need. It just feels like you're about. The problem is, I've been pitched a couple of times, and I'm like, I now just want to avoid the conversation because I just feel it's going to be a third pitch or a fourth pitch, and it just means that the report, I make it so I don't have time for the small talk in that instance because it's not. I feel it's not going to be small talk.
Yeah.
But it's important that what you were saying there, Liz, and what you're echoing, Adam, is that whole. Not be nice. It does sound corny,
it does.
But actually, by doing that to your customers as well. Now, a prime example, because I think I know what you were going to say. I reached out to Liz to send an email thinking, I really think you should look at Copilot. I will give you a free demonstration of how to do that, how to make it work, how to look at that. Liz, thankfully, has signed up. I will state I get no money from this because all I've done is I've sold a Microsoft product on behalf of Microsoft to Liz, but that builds our strength and our relationship. I didn't have to do that, but Liz has gone, no, thank you very much, Andy. That's going to make my life easier. My phrase, work smarter, not harder. Yeah. And all I think I did there was strengthen our relationship because I know, hopefully, if I do that with all of my customers, eventually somebody will say to that customer, blah, de blah, de blah, and they'll go, you need an Andy.
No, that's the difference.
And that's the difference. I didn't have to then. I didn't send her any marketing material. It was a nicely worded email saying, this is how I'm using it. Come on a Teams demonstration and let me show you.
Yeah.
Half an hour later, Liz is like,
we need to reschedule mine.
I know, because I ran out and left you, bless you. But that whole thing from Liz at the end of it, thank you so much, Andy. I'm going away to Barbados. She did, literally. She said, but when I get back,
Copilot's got it sorted.
But when you get back, and sure enough, bless her, that's the other thing. So I did that, went away for 2 weeks, as she promised, came back, and we went, hi Andy, back from Barbados, can I now initiate with Microsoft
Have you had
Copilot?
that yet? Have you had the demo?
I had the demo. I've now got the product.
What do you think?
I'm thinking it's good so far. I'm very impressed,
But
actually.
that's what I'm saying, it's
Very
that whole
impressed.
thing. So
I'm still learning everything that it does.
absolutely.
But even like the email thing is
Yes.
amazing in the fact that you can find all your emails in a conversation and summarize it for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I'm
that
keen
just absolutely saves me hours sometimes.
What do I need to do with this person?
Yeah.
It's like, here's your emails
Yeah.
and where you're up to.
Yeah, that for me is just a win-win.
One sidetrack is that I realised the other day a customer asked me to do something and I went, no, I don't know if we can do this, hang fire. And basically what it was, the question that I gave Copilot is, I would like to hold a 1 hour meeting with myself, Michelle and Dan, and that's all I put, next week. Can you find me a 2 hour slot? And off it went and found the time.
Did it?
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. I've done the email
I could
thing.
have gone into the calendars.
Yeah.
I could have used the busy schedule thing that Microsoft does, and I could have gone, there. I think it was like Wednesday afternoon, 2 o'clock, where we were all free. But I just went, and it came back to me. And then the brilliant thing is it went, would you like me to schedule a meeting for you? Yes. Go. That's what I think is brilliant.
I don't think I need my demo.
I don't think you do. Right.
Yes, please.
The whole idea
It does a lot
of that,
more, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but
the whole
I'm
idea
learning.
of that, though, was to bring it back on point, is about that collaboration. So my question was, do they come through to you? The answer was no. They both come to you independently, but obviously you still then work, together in terms of giving each other that opportunity. So, just checking the time, running up to this obviously sounds as though the project has grown. You're saying not behind by 2 months, it's because the project has naturally.
The journey has gone like this.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, like Adam has said before, we want to do the best for our client.
Of course we do.
We need to make sure what they end up with, that what we give them at the end is workable for them. They believe in their brand. They live and breathe their brand. The website, I mean, at the moment, they're even having trouble updating stuff on their website because it's so antiquated, etc. So it's all about making sure the client has exactly what they need to then move forward.
We also got to
and
the
that
point.
we've done our best. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm jumping on you. We got to the point where I'm looking at it going, some holidays are planned.
Yeah.
There was conference season for
It's
them.
for them, yeah.
And I'm going, I just said, we could rush this through and hit the
There's no
deadline
point.
for a deadline that we've all set
Yes.
ourselves.
For no reason, there was no real reason. It was just we thought, looking at what we needed to do, it could be done by that point.
Is there a reason why it has to be done by that date?
Yeah.
And we asked it openly in the meeting, didn't we?
Is there, because we can push on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, of course.
We could get this done, but it is going to require a huge amount of work, and
It was
it's the
my
iteration.
time, their time, and your time.
Yeah,
It's the
of
content.
course.
It's reviewing old we're basically like, we need to review everything that you've got there. So then we said, right, what are we going to go for then? And it was like, let's push it back 2 months, and then we've got a chance to do it calmly,
Yes.
in a collective way, in a way that's not going to stress anyone out,
Yeah.
and we can get it delivered, and we can deliver it once and deliver it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than launch and go, oh, there's a typo here. Oh, there's a typo there.
And the other thing, we want to make sure they're trained as well,
Yeah.
so they're confident in in updating their website, moving it forward, etc. Because the last thing you want to do. I mean, I've been there in projects where I've been given a system and no training, etc., and it's an absolute nightmare. So one of the other things we had to take in consideration was that time as well, to make sure both people within the team, because they're going to be the primary people updating the website,
No, exactly.
are comfortable with that.
No, exactly right. Again, I want to pick up on something that you said there, Liz, because I have heard you say it before, and I know that Adam believes in this, is that when you are talking about this brand, you put yourself in their position, and their brand has to live and breathe with them.
Yeah.
They've got to believe it, otherwise it's just a silky shiny coat. It's like, I'll take the coat off.
It's just another piece of paper that's going to end
That's
up on a
stuck
shelf,
the
somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I love the way that you've been working collaboratively together, but again, collaboratively with the customer, because you're right. I believe in any project, and I say this when I do the Microsoft Copilot demonstrations, I get excited.
Yeah.
That comes
I could
across.
tell.
You could tell, couldn't you? But that comes across to you, and then naturally in a room, you get the same thing. So if you're all working together, you're working with the customer, and to use that cliche, if you're all singing off the same hymn sheet, I genuinely believe the project just flows much better. There's there's none of this. There's none eye rolling at people. You're all just there working together. So this project, whilst it has grown slightly, out of it, can I ask, is there more potential work?
I'm trying to think. Probably yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what that will look like, I don't know.
No, of course.
I mean, obviously, new website. We've already talked about new imagery, etc. I mean, they found gold dust for me when they found this really old video that they'd done. They'd never used it before.
You're right.
And it's just like human interest. It's a story of somebody.
Right.
And it's with this person that unfortunately is no longer with us, but it's their story. And they'd never used it anywhere before. And I just think that is just so much potential.
Absolutely.
But going back to the website, and they wanted to increase the social media activity and increase. There's probably, I'm thinking more like video potential, imagery potential. There's probably more content potential as well.
What I'd say though is it's completely led on what they want to do.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, no, I get it.
Yeah,
You're not in there selling them in any way, shape, or form.
But like with everything new,
Yes.
you start with that foundation, and then it starts to grow, because like any website does. I mean, not grow in size, but the ideas begin to grow of what they could do, etc., etc. And hopefully, if they still like us at the end of the project, Adam, that maybe one day that phone will ring or that email will land and say, actually, we really want to move in this direction. We talked about this in the project. It would be great if we could work with you on this or work with you on that.
Also, it comes down to client budget, right?
Of course it does.
So we can have loads of ideas.
Yes.
So, for example, they could do an online recorded podcast
Yeah.
with the people that are publishing bits and bobs.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It would be.
There's an entire
Yes,
series
I know.
right
though.
there.
They've got to have the
Change it.
appetite. Got to have the appetite. Got to have the
Yes.
budget.
They've got to feel it's relevant.
And they've got to
for
feel
their
it's
audience.
relevant.
Relevant. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the thing. So we can
Yeah.
always throw and I think this is. It's funny because people, I don't know, people maybe think when you look at business owners and what they're doing in sales and it's all hard and hard nosed
no,
and this, that, and the other.
it's
I'm
not.
like, there's a whole raft of ideas. sat in
There
the back
is.
of- That was one of them.
Yeah.
That I'm like, this is what you could do, and you could advise them and show them. In theory, I could just show them how to do it, and they could do it themselves.
Tells, yeah.
But that's
Yeah, but it goes back down to time and it's time and resource are the two things, aren't they? So it's the money and it's the time for them, and sometimes they're time poor and they've got resource, or vice versa.
No, vice versa.
So depending what situation the client customer is in, then they might do it in the house themselves, or they might turn around and say, well, actually, I've got a little bit of budget here. I haven't got the time. Do you mind just picking this up for me?
Exactly.
And you do it. But no, I believe a lot of projects, like you were just saying, it's grown. It's organically grown. The journey we've made has organically changed as we move. And
But I think that's the education
Yeah.
piece, right?
Yeah.
So we're putting forward ideas.
Yes.
We're saying, have you thought about, right, you're saying you want to do it that way, but is that really the right way to do it? Should we do
but
it like
sorry
this?
to interrupt. That's the one exact reason, and I remember this specifically, Liz, when I was asking you, when we had you as specifically as TigerDove, you bring an external, different view
yeah.
with your experience,
Yeah.
whereas internally that company's going, never thought of that.
Yeah, because you get like siloed.
Of
You
course.
get that blinkered vision, and bringing in somebody external is really important.
No, exactly.
I think sometimes just to get that
Oh,
independent.
100%. So I just want to, again, sidestep slightly. Adam doesn't know this yet. Talking about collaboration.
Okay.
Okay, so last week we had the lovely Craig Wald, Castle
Yes.
Home. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so podcast, introduction, everything. Dave, bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said Dave. Before the podcast, Craig was like, sorry, before we start, I don't even know you. I can't remember your name, Adam. I didn't say that, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't remember your name. Anyway, the story that I'm cutting to is that Adam made such an impression on Craig. I got an email from Craig saying, can you send me Adam's email? I'd like to work with him.
He emailed me last night.
There you
Well,
go.
there you go.
So, yeah.
Going back to being approachable, being, nice.
Okay, you can verify this. Did I try and sell
No.
him anything? I didn't.
Not one
No,
bit.
Not,
but
I
this is
wasn't.
what I'm going back
Have a
to
good
with.
day.
Yeah,
Have
this,
a good day.
this is what I'm going back to, in the fact that you could have a conversation with somebody 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then,
we
I'll
are.
give you an example. This actual
This-
client, I really want to work with you, and I heard nothing.
Yeah.
And it was literally about a year after I'd started, I just got an email out of the blue, absolutely out of the blue, going, we're ready to run. I want you to do this, da 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 da.
Great.
And I hadn't spoken to her for a year.
No, exactly right. Oh, fantastic. So to wrap this up then, the whole idea of me doing this was to bring two companies that some people might go, why are you working together? Because you're in conflict. So can you both summarise up what's it been like working with, again, I
Awful.
keep saying that's awful.
It's been terrible.
Adam, she never stops mentioning Barbados. But what's it been like as in two conflicting companies working together collaboratively on one project?
It's been real. It's awesome because what's nice for me, like when you're working in small business and you got your own business, kind of why we set up Tech-A-Break,
Yes.
right, is because me and Andy were having these techie conversations around whether it's a business or startup or the challenge of running the business, all this. We're kind of having that informally, and then we're like, why don't we record it and do that? And that's what we did. And it was nice to find a colleague
Yeah.
in that discussion, because when you're running your business and your own thing, you're often on your own. It's
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
an audience
Yes,
of one.
it is.
It is.
I have a marketing colleague, and I can actually go to Liz. I'm thinking this. Is it silly?
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking this. Does that make sense? Or I could say something. Liz goes, "Have you thought about this?" And I'll go, "No, that
Thank
makes
you.
a lot of sense."
Exactly.
And vice versa. I mean, I keep saying that, but it works both ways in the fact that I've done that as well, and you've come back going, no, that reads good, yeah. Or maybe not.
Yeah. But that's good though, isn't it? It's bouncing off each other.
Of course
The
it
whole
is.
idea.
That's been. I agree with what Adam's saying there. When you're in your own business, it's
So the
you're having a
first-
conversation with yourself half the time.
The first one for me is I've now got a colleague with a huge range of experience that I can sort of, I could just ring and talk to you about anything, really.
Absolutely.
I know you'd pick up the phone and we'd have a little chat about it. And it might not be a work-related piece, it's just, something that's out there. I'd say that the second thing is it only works if both parties are on the same footing.
Yeah.
Okay? So no way am I ever going to be trying undercutting Liz in terms of... Now, someone might go, it's all well and good, but what if you have to bid for work together? In fact, I did bid for some work, which we didn't get, but I did write you into the bid.
You did, yeah.
I was like, Liz is going to handle words and vision and values and all this. But if a piece of work comes out and we've both been... I've had this with other people in the past, like photography, for example. It's like, hey, just let you know, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring for that. Are you throwing your hat in the ring? Are you aware of it, by the way? So first of all, are you aware of this? We can compete for that contract and do that. And, if it's a contract that's specific to, if there's room for collaboration, I'll build that in.
Yes.
If there's not room for collaboration, we'll just have to compete. But there's no malice.
No.
In terms of it's just the game at that point.
Of course it is.
But the point is, when you've got a trusted partnership, it's not a game.
No.
I'm flipping to the internal. I've dealt with tenders internally for many, many years.
Yep.
And if I saw that two small businesses were collaborating to bring a project, to deliver a project or a service or whatever to me, I would see that as a strength.
Yes.
So that's another thing for me.
It's a strength.
It's just, I would see it as, first of all, I'm thinking a bit of resilience there.
No,
Because,
I'm resilient.
Bit of resilience
I know
there.
you are, Andy. I know you are.
Pointing at Andy.
But it's resilience. It's a mix of skill sets. That's what I would read into that tender. Is that?
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking when I complete a tender for work, I'm always thinking of the other side because I've been on the other side for many years.
I've
exactly.
never been.
No, you've
so
never
there's
been.
Another value.
But I think from what I've heard from both of you, I think you both complement each other on this particular project. But also, I believe now, and obviously you've proven the point, Liz, that you could look at some other work independently. Same with you, Adam, and you can go, do you know what, Liz would be perfect with me on this. So again, you're not greedy. You're not thinking, well, cut Liz out because I can get more money that way. Because together you have proven to this company that you can work, and again that can only lead to other references, good vibes from all the people, and good, fine, we'll work on.
Having someone to shoulder the contract with you, works.
It does,
It does.
yeah.
It helps
Of course
because
it does.
there's two. Well, I came in and said, "What about this?" And there's like, "Told you." No. But you've been thinking the same thing. No. That's what I said. I'm just making light. But it's a collaboration. It's working together, and anyone can look at it. It's not about. There's loads of work out there. If you can find it, half the battle's finding the work.
It is, yes.
Half the battle's meeting people. Half the battle's then having the permission to say what you do and offer your services.
Yeah.
But like Liz and yourself, you are like stakeholders in my business, as I'd like to think I'm a stakeholder in your business,
100%.
for example, because I can say, you speak to Liz, you speak, like there's that sort of thing. So it's approaching things with an open mind, and it's, yes, we're two marketing agencies. On paper, you could go, you're in competition, but actually when you get into the detail, we actually do some quite significantly different things in significantly different sectors. In certain regard as well.
But that's that whole thing, and going back to what I was saying about that other IT company, I've also been, this is a few years back, but I've also been at these business networking events, wandering around, seen an IT company, obviously they've approached me, and I'm like, not a problem, blah, 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 so what do you do? Listen to, so what do you do? I run my own IT company. And they've instantly gone, well, what are you talking to me for then? I'm like, because you asked me that, and I said I was genuinely interested. But they whoa, no, I'm not talking to you. So, and you could see them put the shutters up immediately. Right, okay, well, thanks for your time. And I'm like, wow, that's rude.
Yes.
But again, back to your point about being nice.
Yeah.
It just means, that I believe there's a collaboration all over.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that.
Collaboration for me means more opportunity.
But that now you took the words right out of my mouth, because hopefully now you will, maybe, if you hadn't have known Adam and vice versa, to use your phrase, you may not have bid for some particular work because you're like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're going, actually.
When you're thinking with the blinkers on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then that's, you take one look at
It's all
yeah.
about that whole thing that me and Adam constantly
Yeah.
talk about in terms of trusted partnership, but actually you could call it trusted collaboration now, because that's what you've got. Two companies in the same sector with different views and different things, but you've both worked together to deliver a project, and it sounds as though it's going to be fantastic once it's announced.
Like, what's nice about this project, and this sounds very soppy, but I look forward to the meetings with the
Yeah.
client. Like, I really, they're good.
Yeah, they
They're
are, they're
good. Like,
brilliant.
it's a really good project.
Yeah.
And that's because they're great people to
Yeah.
work with, and they approach it with a really healthy mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're fully allowed to question and interrogate what
Yes.
we're saying and get us to validate why we're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's like we're being challenged,
Yes.
but in a really healthy way. But also we're colleagues, as I'd say, an extension of them working
Yeah.
with, and it's just a great project to work on.
It feels like we're part of a team,
Yes.
which is great. And the other thing I didn't mention is one of the people internally has got a vast amount of experience within the sector, and the other one is very new.
Right.
So again, you're getting two different sets of opinions.
Experience
as well.
with
Yeah.
new knowledge.
But yeah, we feel like we're part of the team, don't we?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that's good. Well, listen, thank you very much indeed, Liz, and thank you, Adam. I thought it was a real good idea to switch the tables on you as well.
Yeah, I know. Feels odd sitting there. I'm a guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know what it feels like now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was horrible. Hitting me with the
I'm
questions.
not doing it to anybody ever again.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so
obviously, as we all know, last question, what are you doing for the weekend, mate, apart from just probably collapsing?
No. So we are going to see friends.
Oh, lovely.
We've got when I went to sunny New Zealand, we stayed with some of Corey's friends, my wife. We stayed with them, and they're back, and we're having a bit of a get together this
Oh,
weekend.
nice.
So it is family chaos.
Family
the
chaos,
weekend.
the whole weekend. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it'd
going
be
to be
brilliant.
That'd be
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
Really, like we've got a few like walks and things planned and stuff.
Yeah.
So really excited to go and see everybody.
Oh, by the way, have we got Rob on?
Yes. Next week, have we got anyone?
No, I was going to say, that's why I was going
I'll
to ask.
him. I'll text him now. While
Text
this
him
is
now.
on.
Liz, what are you doing for the weekend?
I am having a relaxing weekend.
I'm not surprised.
I've got all my washing done for my holiday already. But no, a nice relaxing weekend, bit of a potter out, just enjoy the weather and just enjoy my garden.
Very much so, because you've missed it since you've been away.
I have, yes.
Oh, well, there we go.
What about yourself?
I'm going to Barbados.
Are you? So I can give you some
I don't think
tips.
so.
Excellent.
I don't think so.
No, I'm not. I think it's just a quiet weekend. We've got my good friend Sandy coming along tonight. We're having horror night together.
Ooh.
And then Michelle and Sandy are going down into Darlington for a girly day out.
Oh,
So I'm chauffeuring them there.
very nice.
And I will come back to the house all alone and be very sad without them.
No.
You're gonna game, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to game heavily. But that's me. And then I think she's staying over Sunday and then Saturday night, for Sunday. And I don't think Michelle knows this yet, but I think I might throw a barbecue.
Ooh. Well, it's
Get
going
my
to be
dad
nice
over.
weather,
It's
isn't
supposed
it?
to be beautiful weather, so we'll see what we can do about getting a barbecue going. But,
sounds
but
like a
listen,
great weekend.
Adam, Liz, thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad my idea paid off.
Yeah, I like
And
it.
Yeah, it
It's
was a good one, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
really good.
Good luck. And I'm pleased that Craig emailed you. So again,
Yeah, I
that
need
says
to
everything.
go back to him. Like I say, I got back at 9 o'clock last night.
I know it was
So
a
I
long
like,
time. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for listening and watching. See you all later.
Bye.
Bye.